Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. Thank you for joining in. What's going on, guys?
Man, I don't know. I always have to come up with something. I have to make something up. Because technically with me, nothing's ever going on.
Well, that's a good thing. That means you never have to worry about anything, right?
Yeah, no worries.
So did anybody catch the Daytona 500?
No, but I heard about it.
3 major crashes, man. I watched it while I was at work.
So Austin Dillon, number 3, won, which is awesome. So it's the 20 years since 3's been the winner at Daytona 500. So that's awesome.
Didn't realize it'd been that long.
Yep. It was kind of interesting to watch the race. There were a lot of different things were going on with it, and I actually thought it was a pretty cool race. Some people think it was boring. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
I looked at it a little bit. I just wanted to see Danica.
Oh, Lordy. I knew you were going to say that. I just absolutely knew you were going to say that. Hey, did you see on the news the high-speed chase from Eastern Shore over to this side of the water?
I first heard about it when a friend of mine had texted it. She was sitting in traffic. But yes, I did see the news reports. It was a Mercedes SUV.
Yeah, so I guess they tried to stop it over the Eastern Shore, and it wouldn't stop. And
it started in Sheraton over there.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So we hadn't had one of those in a little while.
Then he crashed into a bunch of cars.
Yeah, in the tunnel or something like that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
At the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Correct.
Yep. So a little thing different. So I have one of those things. Now, I tell you guys all the time. So I'm not going to call the listener out by name because I told us that I wouldn't. So I want to touch on this subject. It's going to take us a little bit to talk about it and stuff. So I talk about auto garages all the time. And the auto garage listeners, you guys know because we have these conversations in between us as well. But it's the duty of the auto garage to do the right thing by the customer. And you've heard me say that many times.
True.
So I have a listener this week I got a chance to sit down and talk with, and I hate wheels, okay? I just hate wheels. I always hated wheels. I don't like the way the process goes to put wheels on a car. I can't stand it. I really, really hate the way that it works. And the biggest reason why is, to a certain degree, it's a little bit of a guessing game as far as what the wheel is going to look like on the car when it's done. I mean, you have an idea. You've seen it on other cars. A lot of the times what people do is they go find a picture, they see an image, and they want to reduplicate that image on their car. And 9 out of 10 times, it never seems to be exactly what the picture looked like. And the reason why is because you truly don't know what that guy did. It's just a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So my biggest thing about it is that with wheels and stuff, people get irritated because this didn't fit right or that didn't fit right. Well, I was talking with this listener, and they purchased a set of wheels. And when it came time to put the wheels on the car, they don't fit right. Then there had to be alterations. Then they decided they wanted to roll the fenders of the car to get the wheels to fit right. And then even after they did that, then they had to have spacers or they had to have adjustments. And at the end of the story, the wheels still aren't on the car. The customer's still out their money. And the customer so the customer first leaves and is led to believe, well, it's kind of their problem because they, you didn't do this. And like, now here's my thing. They took it to a professional, okay? It went to a professional. This is where my problem comes in at. You're the professional. If the wheels don't fit right on the car and the car is going to have to be altered, you're going to have to alter the suspension or you're going to have to roll lips of the car or anything else, those are conversations that you should have with the customer from the get-go. Not an afterthought when you go to put the wheels on the car and they don't fit. And then you're like, well, we can try this or we can try that. They came to you to get the right wheel and the right fit for their car. If what they wanted wasn't going to fit on the car, that's where you become the professional. It doesn't matter. That's like a customer coming in and going, hey, my car doesn't start. I need a starter. Let's put a starter on it. You throw a starter on it. You turn the key and the car doesn't start. And then you go, okay, well, I need my $400 for the starter. And now let's find out what's really wrong with your car.
Yeah, I get it.
It's the same situation. It is absolutely the same situation. There is no if, and, or buts about it. It is the same situation.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah, so that is, and it's funny thing is I'm talking with the listener, and like I said, I'm calling listener because I promised I wouldn't get into names and stuff like that because, they didn't make a wise judgment. So my irritation with it is the shop did a very good job of selling snake oil, and I'm going to call it that to a certain degree. I wasn't there. I'm just listening to what the listener has to tell me. But that listener left believing it was their problem. They literally sold it so well that the listener leaves with an incomplete car
Yeah.
and still thinks that they did something wrong.
Did he buy the wheels from the guy that did the tire work, the wheel work? Did he buy the wheels from there?
Right. Wheels and tires and everything purchased. Not like they
So
just
it was
took
a package deal.
complete package deal.
Okay.
Get the wheels, go to put the wheels in the car, and they don't fit.
The bottom line is it's up to them to make it right, however possible.
You took the car to you. You did the measurements. You told me what would fit. You ordered the wheels. Okay.
And you told me what the cost was going to be to accomplish
right.
this.
The wheels come in, go to put them on the car, and then they don't fit. And then it's like, well, let's go ahead and roll your fenders and see if maybe they'll tuck under that way. So now you're altering the body. Okay, that didn't work. Well, maybe if we take the splash guards off, they'll fit better if we take the splash guards off the car. Okay, well, maybe that won't work. Well, now they don't touch, but they're going to touch just a little bit if you hit a bump, so you'll feel like the fender touch into it and start scraping into the tire when you hit a bump.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Okay, right. So they don't fit. They don't fit. I don't care what you say and what you try to sell the customer. They don't fit, and you're the professional. That's my problem. You can tell it irritates me because this happens time and time again. And you guys have heard me say I hate wheels. I can't stand wheels. I hate wheel conversations because of that reason. It doesn't matter. Every time somebody talks about wheels, it's like it never goes right for them. Every conversation I've ever had with any listener or friends or whatever it is, it never seems to work. There's always a problem with the wheel fitting correctly. Something always has to be added.
Personally, I've always been happy with the wheels that came on the car from the factory.
It's a crazy conversation to me, and the fact that they're such great salesmen that they can make you leave feeling like you did something wrong. By the way, you're going to need to buy these other 4 parts for these wheels that I sold you to work on this car. Okay, that's a conversation we should have had from the get-go. From the beginning, that's a conversation we should have had. Before we ever bought the wheels, you should have been like, well, if you want these particular wheels to be on your car and you want this particular look to your car, you're going to need to do X, Y, and Z to your car to achieve that. Not, let me sell you the wheels, they don't fit. Now you need to buy X, Y, and Z for these wheels that you bought to go on your car. Hey, we'll just throw them in your trunk and you can take them home with you.
Oh, man. I don't think I'd been too happy with that.
No. And so, I got asked, how do you think I should handle the situation? Well, not the way that's been handled at this point in time. I would have never left, with my wheels uninstalled and paid the bill. That would have never happened.
Yeah.
I was like, you hang on to the wheels until we can figure out what it is that we need, and then, we'll get back around to it. I mean, that's what I would have done. Instead, you pay complete for all your stuff, and you still, installation, all that was part of that bill. Yeah. And yet you're not installed and you paid your full bill.
No, I wouldn't have done it. I would have left. I would have not paid and I would have left.
Guys, I'm going to tell you guys again because I have, you hear me say it, I have both. I have auto garages that listen to this show, and then I have the customers that listen to this show. You as the auto garage are the professional. If what they've requested to be done to the car isn't going to fix and or solve their problem, don't be afraid to tell them that. So people get wrapped up, I think, in just the sell. Or maybe they get wrapped up and they truly think they're trying to take care of the customer. Whatever it may be, what I would do is 100% take care of the customer and make sure they get what they think they're getting when they walk out the door and they leave happy. The thing about it is this listener has left not unhappy, but confused. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah.
I guess I just didn't do my part right. No. So that's it's absolutely crazy. That's my little rant on that. It's irritation.
Take your wheels, give me my money back.
Right. It's crazy. So I don't know. I want to get your guys' take and see what you guys thought.
I think that's what gives shop owners a bad name when they do that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. So here's a little bump in the road. So we've talked about self-driving cars, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody has their theory of how that's going to work or how that's not going to work, there's always there's a problem with this. Here's a problem I think no one has thought of. No one has thought of at all. And I never thought of it either. I mean, to be honest with you. So I'm just, the whole setup for cars, there's a problem now. Self-driving cars they can't go through an automatic wash is what they're saying.
Why?
Well, the way the sensors are attached to the car can damage the sensors, and then the car won't be able to drive itself because the sensors are damaged.
What happens when you're driving in the rain?
See, and that was the question that I asked. Okay, it's funny because you led right into it. I was wondering the same. I was wondering the same thing. So here's the question. If it is so now that they're talking about what happens when the sensors get dirty, because some people don't wash their cars regularly. So if the sensor gets dirt on it and the sensor isn't working, and that's the sensor that keeps the car braking, for distances, but it's covered with dirt, that means it can't read. Because you already have in the state of Virginia where we moved the state inspection stickers to the side, so cars that have auto braking systems, the sensor isn't covered.
I just had that happen.
Okay, so what happens when the car is dirty and there's dirt on the sensor and the sensor can't read? Same effect, correct?
Yeah, that's not going to work properly.
They're saying that you're going to have to wash your cars regularly for self-driving cars to make sure the sensors are always clear of debris and dust and dirt.
Well, how are you supposed to wash it if you can't take it through an automatic car wash?
You got to hand wash everything.
You have to hand wash.
You have to hand wash.
Yeah, that's going to go over well.
Yeah. So I never thought about it. I was just, and of course I thought, I'm like, okay, well, if you can't wash it, what about rain? It's the same thing. If the rain gets on the sensor and the dewdrop blocks the sensor and it can't read correctly. So I guess their thing is that it goes to the auto wash and the car could just crash into another car because it's, been washed. So.
Well, I'm sure that's something they'll have to address and fix.
No, it is. It absolutely. So I was crazy. I was like, I never thought about that. So I was like, that's just a strange one. I never ever thought about that. As far as all the things and the challenges that they face with these automatic driving cars, self-driving cars, cars without drivers, autonomous, anonymous. Did I get them all?
I think.
Okay.
We should make a list.
I'm going to have to start making a list. It is, because everybody wants to call it something different. But that the smallest little challenge of washing your car would be the biggest challenge of the car working correctly.
I'm wondering how the sensor even works. I mean, does it have to? They can't devise a sensor that.
Well, they have tons of sensors. Not one type. You have LiDAR, radar. You have this pro scanning systems now.
Well, for radar, it doesn't need to be clean, does it? It's shooting out a sound wave.
I don't know. It's so simple that it's like it asks so many questions.
I could see the dirty part if the sensor had a lens or it was actually.
Well, they do. They actually have lenses, and they're built into the body of the car, and so there's actually little lenses to them. So when those lenses they're saying are covered, then it can't do its job.
I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, the littlest thing of all the things they're trying to develop people for their cars.
But why can't you take it through the car wash?
Well, I guess maybe the soaps and the suds block the sensors, maybe?
Yeah, but it's going to be dried off.
Not during that time that's trying to go through the car wash.
Well, manually. Well, the car wash pulls your car through anyway, doesn't it?
Maybe it won't be able to anymore on a self-driving car. Because all the sensors will be going off and it'll be trying to take over and change things, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe you have to have car wash mode.
Yeah, there you
push
go.
a button that says car wash mode.
Or turn the engine off.
Well, that too. It was interesting. It was one of the things that popped up this week in the news. I was
that's a first. That's the first I've heard of that.
I was just like, well, all the things that I've heard of, I was like, that's not one of the reasons not to produce self-driving cars. But I don't know. Hey, if you think that's strange, I got a lot more strange news coming up for you. You guys hang in there, and we'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Your vehicle has let you down and you need to get it moved pronto. Who do you call? Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth. Whether it's a breakdown or auto accident, Quality Towing and Recovery will be there quickly to solve your problem and with courteous service and reasonable rates. When you're stuck, don't worry about it. Call Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth, 237-5050. That's Quality Towing and Recovery, 237-5050.
Got a bad case of hoop fever? Chesapeake's Wild Wing Cafe has the cure with basketball brackets and the return of our three-point platter that lets you control the selection process. Pick 3 appetizers from a list of 10 to create your own wild appetizer platter.
At the Wild Wing!
All the top seeds for our three-point platter are on the list for one low price. Cheeseburger sliders, mozzarella sticks, hot spinach and queso dip, Wild Wing Cafe's Philly rolls, mac and cheese bites, and chicken bacon and ranch rolls. Plus, you gotta check out our fish and chips, a hand-battered fried cod fillet with fries, coleslaw, and jalapeno tartar sauce. Now you're ready for some hoops. ACC, SEC, Big Ten networks, all the games on TVs all around. At Wild Wing Cafe, it's like sitting center court for every game. So play a little hooky during the best basketball month of the year.
It's a slam dunk, baby!
Chesapeake's Wild Wing Cafe, just off Battlefield Boulevard and Walmart Way Crossing near Sam's. Oh,
Wild Wing!
I think I love ya.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I am your host, Dave Palach. While we're on commercial break, we're trying to figure the battling of the squeaky chair. We have a chair that's in the studio that drives, and I've yet to figure out which one it is. But one of them squeaks, and it drives me nuts when I'm talking, because all I can hear in my headset is the squeaky chair.
I'm speechless. I guess maybe it was me, but I didn't hear it.
Hey, here's something that might leave you speechless. You all know the Kia Stinger. We've talked about it. It's coming. And it's the commercials they've done, and they bill it as a hot rod sedan, and they got commercials of it going around a track, sliding around a track, and it's a cool car. I mean, it looks cool. It's neat. It's not going to be really expensive, and they top speed's like 167 miles an hour or something like that. And I understand, guys, it's a Kia. Nothing to get excited about. Everybody's like, oh, it's just a Kia. I get it, but for the fact that Kia has come as far as it has is pretty amazing. The fact that they now have a sports sedan that everybody is standing up and taking a look at is even more amazing. And now the last thing is it's going to get its own store. Yeah, I know. Dead silence. It's okay.
A Kia store?
Yeah. So they're going to do in malls. They've been talking about doing this for years, and I've seen it done in different approaches. They're going to just have a store that has this car on display where you can go and play and touch and see and everything and mess with it. Just a store in certain malls in America.
Okay.
talked
Sounds like a good idea.
They talked about doing this like 20 years ago. They were going to do little like auto boutiques inside the mall where they take like the most popular model and they gear the store out and they put the car on display. So you don't have to go mess with really a car dealership or anything like that. You can go just take a look at the car, play with all the little gadgets and stuff, and see if you like it without the big hassle of somebody trying to sell you a car. The idea got played with a little bit. They did a little things here and there, but they never really went full conception with the whole idea. So now here we are again, full circle, and Kia's talking about this. They're doing it. I actually saw a press release, and it showed the model of what they plan on doing. It's just like a little. It's not even a kiosk. It's actually one of the, like almost like you walk in like a Foot Locker or something like that. But it's just the Kia Stinger, so you can actually go in and take a look and play with it. So it's a little different. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, it's different. But here's another thing. Do you remember the conversation that we had? It was last year sometime, I think early last year, where they took common people out of their cars and put them all into trucks and had them start driving trucks. And chose people who said, oh, I would never drive a truck. I'd never drive a truck. And they took their cars away from them. They put them in a truck for like 6 months and had them drive it.
I vaguely remember that.
Okay. So apparently there's something to that. If you remember after like the 6-month study, people didn't want to go back to their cars. They got so used to driving a truck because trucks have changed so much. They're more luxurious than they've ever been. They're not really like driving a truck. Like you drive my truck and it's not like driving a pickup truck. I mean, it has every bell and whistle in it, heated seats, power seats. It's got it all. You know what I mean? So I understand it's a pickup truck, but I wanted to have the comforts of having a pickup truck. And that's what this boils down to. So that 6-month study, they took people who were like, oh, I'm not a truck person. I never drive a truck. And they put them in trucks for 6 months, took their cars away from them, and then after 6 months took the trucks back away. And people were like, no, I want to keep the truck. They got so used to driving it, they changed these people's mind. Well, a new study shows that people are actually now opting not to buy luxury cars anymore, but buy luxury trucks. So what they do is they go out and buy a pickup truck, 4-door like mine, not the half 4-door, but the full 4-door truck with all the bells and whistles, and they say it's nicer driving a luxury pickup truck than it is driving a luxury car because it's just the same, plus you have that storage space like we talked before in the bed.
And is that what yours is, a luxury truck?
I would say my trucks, I got more bells and whistles on it than most people have on theirs. I mean, I have touchscreen display, and I have I did the upgraded computer system, so my touchscreen does more than just the regular basic stuff that most people do. I got the power seats, power everything. I got heated seats, and so yeah, I chose a lot of extra stuff, the light up bed, and I know you're smiling at me, but yeah, I would say mine's more luxury than off-road rugged pickup truck.
Yeah.
I mean, we throw things in the bed of my truck all the time, but I have the luxury and the comfort of and I understand this study. I have the luxury of like a luxury car inside my truck, but I have the capability of a pickup truck at the same time. And they say that people are now leaning towards that. They rather.
I can see it with the addition of a back seat. For many years you had a front cab and you get
Right.
3 people in there max probably.
Now that you have 4-door trucks and they're filling them with all the bells and the whistles and the gadget, and if you buy like a GMC or like a Denali series, then it's really kind of like the Cadillac of a truck. You know what I mean? It's really, really, everything. It's got all the bells and whistles and all the chrome and everything that you want. I don't have a whole lot of chrome on mine because I just don't like that look. But now it is a luxury car just built into a pickup truck, and they say that people are opting that. They're just getting away from luxury cars and they're buying really nice pickup trucks.
Well, then I guess the development of the luxury pickups will continue.
It will, but I thought it was funny because those two studies basically went back to back. You had these people who are just like, I would never drive a truck, and after 6 months of driving a truck, they didn't want to get rid of them. They want to keep them. So, the theory's there.
Stereotype once again.
No, yeah, that's exactly. I think you're right. That's exactly what it was. So, hey, I got a listener's letter. You all ready for this? Sean from Virginia Beach writes, I have a question for you guys. I have a 1998 Chevy Tahoe with some type of brake issue. The ABS light will come and go, and it feels like sometimes the ABS is activating. I've had the brakes checked, and they said they all look okay. The truck did not act up when they had it. Any ideas? So, Sean, yeah, I got tons of ideas. Well, it's a Chevy, so number one, you're starting off really good. You're all right. For all my other manufacturally challenged friends, I'm sorry. There's a couple of different things this can be. And it's funny because I get a lot of ABS questions, it seems. Control unit could be going bad in it. I won't say they were notorious, but the Tahoes did have a problem with the control unit going bad in it. The one thing that a lot of people overlook, and especially on Chevy trucks and Tahoes and stuff like that, the wheel speed sensors would go bad on them and it would cause the ABS light to come on. So you may just have a wheel speed sensor going bad, which would be kind of normal, especially if it's a 4-wheel drive and you're off in the mud and stuff like that. It's more likely the sensor has gone bad. But take it to your local auto garage, have them take a look at it for you. If you don't have a local auto garage, I have just a solution for you. I've been waiting for this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, a little drum roll. So, I'm going to give it to you guys because you guys been waiting. You guys asked for it and we decided to deliver. Our new sponsor for the year is Napa Auto Care Centers. So they are our new sponsor. So we are very, very, very happy to have them. So you guys definitely check that out. If you guys are looking for a good auto garage, Napa Auto Care Center is it. And there's a specific Napa Auto Care. If you guys actually go to NapaBDGHRVA.com, I'm going to give that to you again if you didn't get it. It's NapaBDGHRVA.com. There is a list of all their shops on that are Napa-approved auto care centers that you can go to and actually find yourself a great garage. So everybody asks, oh, do you have a garage? Is the question. You've heard me say it a bunch of times, and I don't really say it. So they are actually a complete system. They can do everything. They have professionals in every single aspect of car repair. Go check them out. Find a local auto garage that's close to you that's a Napa Auto Care Center that you like. Introduce yourself and do some business. You're going to be hearing a lot more come on. We have a lot of things going on in the next couple of weeks, so we'll be rolling more and more stuff out to you guys. But I've been holding that one tight, and I wanted to wait, and that was the perfect time to put it out there. So there you go.
Perfect time.
So Sean, in Virginia Beach, if you do not have an auto garage that you regularly take your vehicle to, go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and choose a shop in Virginia Beach for me from that list and let them take care of your car. So there you go. But I'm thinking you're probably going to have a bad wheel speed sensor. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to be a control unit. Could be, but they were notorious for the wheel speed sensors being bad.
Put it on the lift and check it out.
There you go. So, hey, car theft's on the rise. Are you shocked? I'm not.
No.
Do you know the reasons why? And this is the crazy part. So it's not.
They're stealing pickup trucks.
Oh, they are. Actually, they are. So car theft guys on the rise, but for all the different reasons. Most people steal cars to go joyride them, and that's really the big thing. So, people go and they drive and they end up finding them later and they've been joyrided, or they strip the stereo out of it or something stupid like that.
Don't tell me they're going to steal them to go haul things.
No. Not just pickups. They steal everything. But the problem with it is I won't say exactly a problem, is the car repairs have gotten so crazy for parts and stuff like that people are actually stealing the cars to remove the part they need to fix theirs.
That would have never occurred to me in a million years.
Yep. So that's what it is. Literally, people are stealing cars because the parts have gotten so crazy that you can almost buy a car and part it out and make more money on selling the parts off of it than you would if you sold the car as a whole, because the parts have gotten so crazy.
And what are the thieves doing with the truck after they take the parts?
Well, they just leave it once they take what they need off of it. But I mean, like the fenders and you name it, all the parts, the prices have gone up so high on all these parts that they're literally, I say literally because I don't know what else to say, but they're taking the parts off the car to fix theirs. They're willing to take that risk. I mean,
that never would have occurred to me in a million years.
They'll steal them just to take the fenders off of them. They'll steal them just to take computers out of them, whatever it may be, because the part is so expensive that just steal the car and take the part. And then thieves are now stealing them so they can sell the parts because they realize parts are so high.
Oh,
yeah,
man, that's something I'm kind of speechless. Something needs to be done about that.
I'm really not. So years and years ago, I had a 1978 Z28. Okay. That I had bought, and I was going to build this car. I was just like, for some reason, I just got attracted to this car. It was up for sale, and I had to have it, so I bought it. It was a red Z28. So I purchased it, and it needed some things done to it and stuff. It was, it was a rougher shaped car, and so I started working on it, and then life took over, and I got busy, and I just didn't have time to mess with it. So I put the car up for sale, like what most people do. You buy a project, life takes over, and before you know it, the project becomes somebody else's project. So I put it up for sale, and I couldn't get anybody to bite on that car. I mean, it didn't matter. And if they did bite on it, they wanted to lowball me on the price on the car. So I all of a sudden went, you know what? I'm just curious. And I went ahead and I put it up for parts. The phone started ringing off the hook. And this is before everybody was using Craigslist and all that regularly. So, that was still when everybody still called you. Right. You put a little ad in the paper and, so I sold all the parts off that car that I wanted to mess with it. I made more money than I was asking for the car after it was all said and done.
And I'm sure you had stuff left over.
I did. I sold the engine, the transmission, the hood, the fenders, the doors, a front windshield, some of the interior parts out of it, the trunk lid, the tail lights. And by the time I added up all the money, I made more money on the parts I sold than what I was trying to sell the car for as a whole. And not when I'm talking about like a couple of dollars. By like almost $1,000 or better, I made more money than if I was trying to get for the car as a whole.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't realize parts had gotten that high. I haven't needed a body part in a long time.
Well, it amazed me, and then I realized the value of parts for cars. That's really what it was for me. It came around. I was like, wow. I was like, I can't believe I made almost $1,000 more off of selling the parts on that car than I did with when I put the car up. Nobody would call.
That's an eye opener.
Yeah, it was. So I can see how this story rings true. Yep. I mean, body parts are expensive. It's cheaper, I guess, just to go take them in some people's eyes. I don't suggest you try it, but
I used to hear about people stealing catalytic converters.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
And cars and whatnot. They would just do it right there on the parking lot.
Well, yeah, that was a huge thing here in this area for a while. Well, actually, all over America was getting hit with it, but this area was huge.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine that had a fleet of trucks.
Got them all?
They got them all.
Yeah. Oh, I hate a thief. And on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, got some more news to get into. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Your vehicle has let you down and you need to get it moved pronto. Who do you call? Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth. Whether it's a breakdown or auto accident, Quality Towing and Recovery will be there quickly to solve your problem and with courteous service and reasonable rates. When you're stuck, don't worry about it. Call Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth, 237-5050. That's Quality Towing and Recovery, 237-5050.
When did your light bulb go off? We're talking about that idea you have for a new product or app. Listen, if you want to make your idea a priority, but you don't know how to get it off the ground, you call Davison, the one company with over 25 years experience and exclusive process that turns ideas into products and apps that are found in retail stores and online. Our team has helped tens of thousands of people, just like you. Call now and ask for our free idea starter guide. We'll show you how to securely get started and protect your idea. Whether you have a patent or not, our process will get your idea ready to get in front of a corporation. Don't let your light bulb of an idea go out. Call Davison now for your free idea starter guide. Davison charges fees for services. 800-213-6960. 800-213-6960. 800-213-6960. Again, that's 800-213-6960.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. And if you weren't with us for the first couple segments, you're with us now. There you go. See?
What a lead-in.
Did you like that?
Yeah, man.
Hey, so before I get into the rest of the news, I actually want to give a huge shout out to my son, Hunter. It's going to be his birthday on Sunday. He's going to be turning 9 years old. I know he is sitting at home listening, waiting to hear his name. So
Wish I was 9 again.
yeah, I wish I was 9 again, too. So I wanted to tell you, buddy, happy birthday from us here at the station. I will see you here soon when we get done. But very proud of you, and I hope you have yourself a great birthday. So there it is.
Let him eat cake.
Lots of cake and pizza. That is the plan.
Man, what a mix. Pizza and cake.
Pizza and cake. So, hey, Me Too car fans, I have a little listen up for you guys. Ford is blessing 1,000 people with custom badges for their cars. Just 1,000. So you have to be one of the 1,000 people.
You have to pay extra for that?
No. So they're doing this. So they have a Facebook app. If you haven't figured it out yet, or you haven't heard about this, go onto Facebook. They didn't give me the name. They just give me a press release. They said they have a Facebook app where you can personalize your pony. That's right. Personalize your pony. That sounds actually pretty good together, doesn't it? Only 1,000 people will get a personalized pony to put on their car.
And how do they determine the 1,000 people?
I guess once
First
1,000,
come,
first serve.
Yeah.
Yep. Once 1,000's done, that's it. So if you want to have something different on your Me Too car, you can get yourself a personalized pony. And that's not a My Little Pony. That's a personalized pony.
Have you seen any of those? I'm kind of curious what that would look like.
My Little Ponies? Sure,
No.
I've seen tons of them.
The personalized badge.
Only what they gave me in the media kit that they sent over to me. So I saw where they had played and altered and you could change some things. Now, there is some ones that are actually on the site, from what I'm told, that have been pre-designed that are different than come on the car that you can buy just directly. But if you want to actually take the time and customize your own badging for the car, you have that opportunity. So I thought it was kind of cool. Only 1,000. That means you know that your car won't be Me Too anymore. Maybe nobody can say, "Hey, I got that one too." For the most part, unless your buddy, you told your buddy, and then he told his buddy, and you guys all show up at the same Mustang meet together, and with customized badges.
Why not just offer it to everybody? They can charge you a couple $100 for that.
There you go. Well, I don't know, 1,000. That's what they limited it to. I think it's great because you know my concern with the Mustang.
Yeah.
And we talked about it the other day.
A Me Too car.
A Me Too car. Hey, guys, once again, don't get mad. Don't send me your hate texts and your emails like you guys do. As long as you own a Mustang car, you're cool with me. The Mustang just got a little played out for me, so I call it the Me Too car. I'm going to move on before I make any more people mad. Hey, Airbus. Remember we talked about Airbus drone?
Yep.
Concept to idea to now test flight. That quickly.
Man, that was fast.
And that was very fast. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we talked a little while back about Airbus was getting into the flying drone, autonomous flying drone business to move people around. And at that point in time, it was a talk about. Then it became a concept of drawing that they did. And then now we are at test flights. So if you haven't seen this, go check it out online. Just type in Airbus drone and go check out their test flight. I think this one's 4-passenger. And there's somebody, I don't have all the information on it, but I will when it comes in. I'll tell you about it. There's a 7-passenger actually out there that somebody's making now.
Wonder how far they'll go with that.
That one is said to have 5-hour flight time. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen anything on it. I just saw a blurb come in a couple of days about it, but nothing attached.
You wouldn't
to
need
it.
a flight time that long just for a taxi type service, would you?
Well, no, you won't. And when we talked about this, so Uber and Lyft were the biggest ones that were looking into it. And what they were doing is they were trying to buy the rights to rooftops and stuff like that. We talked about this last year. And everybody's like, well, what is their big concern with that? Well, if they decide to get into this drone flying people around business, you're going to have a place to land them. So they're trying to reserve the rights now before the technology actually gets finished.
A heliport on every building.
Basically, that's what it would come down to. Or so the one that I saw, one of the little videos that got sent to me this week was they fit inside 2 parking spaces. So it could actually land within what 2 parking spaces would be. So you just now mark out the parking spaces at the top of a parking garage, and you just say drone parking only. And then the drone just takes up 2 parking spaces versus 1 and lands, and you get out.
Then they have to take the locks off the door because most buildings have access to the rooftop restricted.
Well, if you just did it in the already existing parking garages, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I mean, you can get to the top of all the parking garages here in Norfolk.
I get that. Yeah. I was thinking like of a typical office building.
No, I know what you're thinking. I'm sure that would be the case too. But in a parking garage, it makes sense. Top floor parking garage is for drone parking only.
I mean, they could do that on a regular on-the-ground parking lot.
You could, if it's only taking up 2 spaces. Like I said, the one that they sent me, I think that was a 4-passenger setup, and when it landed, basically it took up 2 parking spaces. They were the bigger, wider ones, but they were 2 parking spaces.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it works. How about self-driving equipment?
What kind of equipment?
Well, I have problems with this because I don't like people.
Like a bulldozer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So this week they were testing construction equipment with self-driving equipment. They basically just type in what the land they want it to dig and clear. It just goes out there, does all the digging, clears all the land for you, then comes back and parks itself in a garage.
That'll put some folks out of work.
Yeah, that's another job. That's a loss. That's my problem with it. It's another job that goes by to something automated. But yeah, it's got a little quick video. If you guys go check it, I always tell you guys to check these videos out because that's where things get sent to us. There's one where there's a bobcat and it's hooked to an automated system, and it goes and clears like a big section of land automatically. While there's a father and what looks like a daughter sitting in lawn chairs eating lunch, watching it do it.
That'd be neat to program a bobcat to clear a parking lot of snow.
Oh, there you go. But once again, it's somebody else without a job. I'm not much into the people losing their jobs.
Me either.
To quit. I understand it's coming, but I just that bothers me because it's just another job. It's just like when they start doing the automated bagging and stuff like that. You bag yourself at like Walmarts and stuff like that. I just thought that'd be more people without a job. So
I don't recall seeing automatic bagging.
well, no, where you do it yourself. I mean, where you go and bag yourself without a cash register. You self checkout. That's
I got you.
I was trying to think what the name of it was. So, that's just a couple more people that don't have a job because of that.
I guess so, but it's progress marches on, is the old saying.
Yeah, it is. Hey, here's a story that stinks. How about stink bugs stopping the import of cars from Japan to New Zealand?
So the stink bugs are getting on there in Japan?
Apparently, yep. And then they infested the whole load, and now there's like 80,000 cars that can't be moved because of an infestation of stink bugs.
Well, if it was big enough, I'm sure customs would catch that.
They did. And now they've quarantined it, and they have to now the cars have to be all sprayed with like a special chemical, and they got to try to get rid of the stink bugs.
Gas them.
Great.
They're kind of hard to kill, aren't they?
Yeah, they are not receptive to pesticides. I didn't know that, by the way, just in case I'm not knowledgeable in bugs by any means. I read it.
All right.
I had no idea.
There's got to be a way to deal with that.
I'm sure there's something that kills
Of course,
them.
it's best to stop it at the source.
But when did you ever hear about cars being stopped because of bugs? I mean,
Well-
of all the things that you think,
Yeah, because you can kill the bugs.
Yeah, well, no, apparently these
I
ones
mean,
are hard
that
to
must be one heck of an infestation. I mean, serious big time.
kill. No, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I saw the story and I had to go back and read it twice. I was like, stink bugs? What? Okay. And if you've ever stepped on a stink bug, you only do it once.
Oh, I know. That's not pleasant.
Yeah, you will only do it once. It stinks. Here's another story. India is actually going to be getting Hyperloop. So, and here's my reason. So if you guys got to know what Hyperloop is by now, so I'm not going to get into explain to you what it is. But Hyperloop for the new transportation system, I believe that, and I think I told you that a while back, that it was going to be some country that was going to get it. And the reason why I believe is because the restrictions and stuff are a little bit less in other countries than they would be here. It's a lot easier to get things passed than it is here.
Does that affect safety, though?
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to start with and I'm going to air quote, test train. I think test train will come from test train to full product quicker than it ever would be here in the United States because, like I said, some of the regulations, some of the restrictions are a little different in other countries. It's easier to get things pushed through, and I think you'll see it'll develop quickly in another country than it will here out in the Nevada desert.
Well, then at least you'll be able to observe to see how well it does, if it lives up to the hype.
Well, yeah. I mean, you talk about moving people at 700 miles an hour eventually. That's pretty impressive.
New Delhi to Pakistan in no time.
Moving on. Hey, I have another listener's letter. Are you guys ready for this one? I have a 2014 Toyota Corolla that the check engine light keeps coming on. I took it into the garage down the street, and he told me they really didn't see any reason for it to be on. He cleared the code and told me that it most likely was the gas cap. I've heard this so many times. 2 days later, the light came back on. You're still waiting for the rest of it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm so far I can relate.
I took it to the dealer, and they informed me that I had a bad O2 sensor. I chose not to let them do the work, as it was twice what it would cost me. I dropped it off last week at the repair shop and had them replace the O2 sensor. It made it 1 day and the light is back on. Please help, Kristen in Chesapeake. Well, all right, Kristen, so here you're going to be upset with me, but I'm going to give you a couple of things that I see that's wrong with this. Number one, you let somebody diagnose the car and then you let somebody else do the repair.
Yeah.
That's going to be the biggest problem. And I understand, yes, that the dealership tends to be more money than a regular repair shop. I get that part. But here's the thing. Had the dealership repaired it while you had it there and the light still didn't go off, you would have
recourse.
Yeah. Correct. Now you have no recourse because you've garage hopped, which we've talked about. I hate the fact that people garage hop. You don't let one person diagnose the car and then somebody else do the repair, and then when the repair doesn't fix it, you're mad at that garage. You can't. It doesn't work that way. You should take it to an auto garage that you trust, that you've been doing business with over and over again, and you may not have one, and maybe that's the reason why you're in this situation, and let them deal with the car all at once, one setting. That way, if hey, we say it needs this and that didn't fix it, there is some recourse. They can go back and find out what it is, and you're not dumping tons of money out of your pocket over and over again. So that's where the biggest problem comes in, and it's just one of those situations that over and over again people find themselves in, and they end up spending money after money after money, and for needless reasons. If they would have took it to one garage and let one garage do the start to finish repair and fix the problem for you, they have less money out of pocket. As far as the fact that they have now replaced a bunch of different stuff that has not fixed your problem, that is going to be one of the things that is just 100% a thing that's unavoidable at this point in time. Here's what I would say. This is what I would do. I would take it back to the repair shop, replace the O2 sensor, and have them check a bunch of different things on the car. I don't think the O2 sensor is going to be your actual problem. If it is running lean, which is what I'm going to assume, maybe it's probably what the code popped up in it for, which I think there's 2 or 3 codes that will actually pop up, if I remember correctly. One will have bank 2 lean, then you'll have something for the gas cap. So there's a lot of different codes that pop up in that car, and I can't recite them off the top of my head. That's the reason why it's best to take it to a repair shop. You're going to find out that maybe there's something else that's actually causing that car to lean out so much that the O2 sensor light goes off, and you may have, if you have a serious problem going on, could have already wiped out that brand new O2 sensor. So definitely take it over to the repair shop, let them take a look at it. Like I said, if you don't have a repair shop to take it to, take it one of your Napa Auto Care centers, and like I said, if you don't know where there is one, easy peasy, NapaBDGHRVA.com. Go there and check them out, and you'll find a shop. There's professionals there You can go on there and find one that's in your area. Let them take a look at your car, and I'm sure they'll get you squared away. On that note, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I got some more news for you. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Your vehicle has let you down and you need to get it moved pronto. Who do you call? Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth. Whether it's a breakdown or auto accident, Quality Towing and Recovery will be there quickly to solve your problem and with courteous service and reasonable rates. When you're stuck, don't worry about it. Call Quality Towing and Recovery in Portsmouth, 237-5050. That's Quality Towing and Recovery, 237-5050.
I'm Bob DeRigo Jones, and this is Let's Be Fair. Identity theft is a serious problem these days, but it's also a big business. When companies experience security breaches that allow the personal information of their clients to get into the hands of criminals, it can generate millions of dollars for those hired to clean up the mess. The challenge in these cases is making sure that the number one priority is protecting the clients from fraud. That's why you should know what recently happened in a class action lawsuit against insurance company Anthem after a security breach there. Plaintiff lawyers who sued the company negotiated a settlement of $115 million, but they asked the judge to pay $63 million of that to themselves. Let's be fair, that means that the lawyers would have received more than half of the money from the lawsuit. Outrageous. To protect Anthem's clients from being robbed of the money they deserve, the judge overseeing the case has taken the rare step of appointing a special master to now investigate the lawyers. Learn more. Visit our website at centerforamericatv.org.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone.
I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. So before we went to commercial break, we were talking about the listener letter, and I have something here that's kind of cool and a whole other thing. So you guys remember the Exorcist Camaro?
No, I don't recall that, no.
Oh, I know you. I'll refresh your memory.
The Exorcist Camaro.
Remember they came out with the Hellcat.
Okay.
And then Camaro came out with the Exorcist.
Now I got it.
Okay, so we talked about it because it was a play on the fact that the Hellcat and the Exorcist. So, well, apparently it's faster than the ZR1 Corvette.
Now you want one, don't you?
You know, man. See, we talked about this. Before I bought my truck, if you guys haven't heard the story, I'll tell it to you guys again. I went looking for a muscle car. I was just dead set on I was going to buy myself a new muscle car. That's what I wanted. And then guilt set in because I still have kids at home and I couldn't justify buying a muscle car for myself knowing that I still had kids in the house for, quite a few more years. So I did the sensible thing and I bought myself a pickup truck instead of buying a muscle car. But I did go drive every one of the muscle cars that were out there available. I drove a Corvette, I drove a Camaro, I drove the Challenger, back then with the SRT8 model. So, I went and drove everything that I thought that I might want, and I went and drove the Mustang. And in fact, I drove one of the more expensive Mustangs. I didn't just go GT. It was one of the, I can't remember one of the other ones to step up from there. So, and then I settled on a truck. But one of the things I didn't like about the Camaro is the fact that it had a lot of blind spots in it to me. When I drove it, maybe it's just the way that I'm built and the way I sit in the car, I didn't feel comfortable driving. It just had a lot of blind spots. I felt like I was, constantly trying to turn my head a lot to look around as I switched from lane to lane in the car.
Then you don't buy that car.
Well, that was my problem that was my biggest problem with the Camaro. I did fall in love with the Challenger, and I know it's a Dodge, and it's oh, you're a Chevy guy. Okay, once again, muscle cars don't apply. So, because I felt comfortable driving it. One thing I did like about it was the way that I sat in the vehicle. I could easily see everything around me very easily for the way that I sit and I drive. So, if I did it all over again and I went to go buy another muscle car, it would probably be the Challenger for that reason. I do like the Mustang. You know, you guys hear me joke on it. It's the Me Too car. I like the Mustang. The biggest problem I don't like with Mustang is everybody has one. That's the reason why I
Have you ever had one?
A Mustang? Mm-hmm. No. No, I never had a new Mustang. I did the old Mustang for a while. I had bought one and was doing work on it and did 65 fastback. And then that just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. You know what? I've had a lot of different muscle cars I bought and with good intentions, and life always seems to take over.
Yeah.
I bought a Nova years ago that I was going to race out at Dixieland Speedway when Dixieland was real big out there and stuff. And that didn't, life again. Money always has to go someplace else.
My brother-in-law has been restoring a 71 Nova for the past 7 years.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's, I don't know how often he works on it. He's retired now, so he has more time, but he's had it forever. And it looks, the last time I saw it, which was a year ago, it looked pretty good. I don't know what else he had left to do.
My dad's got one in the garage he's been restoring for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That it's just
That's a long time to spend messing around with a car.
It is. Well, I can't say anything. My Trans Am's been sitting because life's taken over and it sits and I haven't finished everything on it. But it just, when you got kids, I understand. That's the biggest reason why I harp on all these car manufacturers over and over again. You guys heard me talk about it before. They needed to make a new muscle car that was affordable for the common guy, because what ends up happening with people is they want a muscle car. They want something they can tinker with, but they can't afford to do it. So if they could buy something that was affordable that already ran, that they can enjoy and add things onto it as they go on, that would be a huge market out there. And I told you, Chevy announced that they were looking at that option. So we'll see if they actually follow through with that.
It'll be a marketplace decision, I'm sure.
Well, just take all the bells.
Can we make money or can we not?
Take the bells and whistles out of it, and you can make money. Take all the bells and whistles. You don't need touchscreen. I don't need power seats. You don't need any of that junk. Just give us the basic car with good horsepower and sell it to the guy and let him do what he wants to it as he has the money.
Sounds like a practical move, but whether that'll happen, I don't know. We'll wait and see on Chevy.
Yeah, we'll see. The verdict's still out. Hey, Toyota drivers, here's a little thing for you guys to pay attention to. Toyota issued a recall for Tundras and Sequoias. Apparently, the back seat bolts come loose and cause a problem. So if you have a Toyota Tundra or a Sequoia and you think yours may fall underneath that recall, just give them a call and find out if it does. It takes a couple seconds. Call to Toyota and see if your vehicle is affected by it. One of the other things they have a recall going on is the stability control system automatically turning itself off. If you don't know what stability control system is, it's what keeps the vehicle from flipping and wrecking and not being stable anymore. So, in certain speeds. So, that they have a problem with that. So make a telephone call. You guys hear me tell you all the time, don't take a recall lightly. Call over to the dealership, see if it affects your vehicle, and then take it over there and let them fix the problem. So,
especially because it doesn't cost you anything.
That's right. There's no reason not to make the telephone call.
Yeah, it's a free repair, so fix it.
Yeah. Here's another one for you. This is on the Me Too car again. Remember the car dealership in Ohio that was selling the 800 horsepower Mustang that you could buy for $40,000 we talked about almost 2 years ago when it first came out?
I remember that, though.
Well, they are now building trucks that you can buy for $38,000 that has 725 horsepower if you're into Ford trucks.
Carrying a lot of stuff with that kind of horsepower.
He's just waiting. I see he's just waiting. I'm going to say it because he's waiting for it. Go ahead and buy it, and my Chevy can tow you when it breaks. Look, guys, he was edging me on. He was over there smiling because he knew it was coming. Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. I knew you knew where I was going with it.
I did.
You guys remember me telling you about bulletproof vehicles last year? We were talking about they're becoming more
Is that with the putting the armor on the cars?
They're arming them, and it's becoming more of a more common thing nowadays than ever expected.
I don't get it, but
yeah. Well, Tesla now has a bulletproof Tesla, so there actually is a company that's now taking your Teslas and making them bulletproof, and they did not have to alter anything on the car as far as the looks of it to achieve this.
How long will it take the presidential limousine to be a Tesla?
That's interesting.
They can armor plate it. That's part of the job.
Well, they say that this thing, the Tesla that they actually did this to, is actually it's ballistic resistant, and it actually is chemical warfare resistant too.
Is this something they're going to do, or is this like a special order?
I can't answer that. The reason why is because we've talked about this before. More and more car companies are doing this, and It's not that bad out there. Is it really that bad out there that you need a bulletproof vehicle? Maybe where we live, it just isn't that bad out there. I don't
You hear
know.
a lot about it on the news, mainly with drive-bys and things of that nature. But I mean, I can't imagine that the general marketplace needs or is ready for a armor-plated car.
There must be a need for it if more and more people are starting to build them. There has to be a need that we're not aware of.
Yeah, well, I usually demand is what precipitates that. So,
Well, it's just like the big truck we talked about, that 6-axle truck that's a luxury like SUV that's all bulletproof that they're building now. I can't remember what the name of it was, but we talked about it a couple months back. And if there's a company taking the time to build these things, there is a purchaser for it.
yeah, there's a market.
I mean, you're not just building stuff that they don't need.
Yeah, because they want to sell it and make their profit. And
Right.
That's the American way.
Here's a good one for you. Did you hear about Chevy Chase and his...
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? If you guys don't know what we're talking about. So apparently Chevy Chase got into a road rage accident. So he thought somebody cut him off. He thought they clipped his car is what he's saying. So he chased them down. And then they got to the side of the road. They had an altercation where this young gentleman drop kicked him to the ground.
And this is in New York City.
Yeah, and then the police were called. So if you haven't heard about the story, go check it out. But there's two sides to every story. The young man says that Chevy Chase actually instigated it, and that he just responded to the actions of Chevy Chase. But
There are definitely two sides. The driver had one story and Chevy Chase had another.
Well, here's the insult to injury. Then the driver that was in the altercation with him says, I didn't even know who he was. I went and looked him up and still didn't know who he was. I was just like, how do you... Look, man, don't be messing with my van. He drives my iconic station wagon. Look, I'm still searching for my station wagon deal, Buick. I'm just letting you know. Buick, if you're listening, you need to paint one green, do it up, and I will take it on a road trip with my family across, and we'll go ahead and you can do commercials all the way across the country and back.
Been talking about that for a long time.
Because I think it would be fun. I grew up watching that movie. I think the movie is hilarious.
It is.
The car is funny as can be. So I think with the new station wagon come out with Buick, it'd be a great idea for them to do one up that looks just like it on the new thing and put us in it and send us across country on a road trip with my family. And they can record it and do commercials out of it.
If you had one, you'd turn some heads.
I turn heads regardless because of my personality, because I don't know how to leave people alone. So that inside itself would be funny, sending me across the country in one. I mean, look, I think it's a great idea. I'm going to keep pushing the idea until Buick calls. If you guys can't tell. You guys can help. We'll start a petition. You guys can help me. Get Buick to call me.
Was the truckster a Buick?
No, I think... I'm not really sure what that was. Maybe the Chevy wagon? Now I don't know. That's bad of me not to know. But
it was clearly modified, but I don't know what originally it was.
No, I want to say I would have said that would have been like a Chevy product or something.
That'd be my guess.
But since Buick's the one coming back out with the station wagon, just all you got to do
Obvious choice.
Yeah, you just got to paint that ugly green for me. Give me some cool gadgets to play with down the highway. And we can do a whole ad campaign for it. I'm telling you, it's going to work.
Hide the gas filler cap.
Yeah. You don't. Oh. So, anyway, moving on. There's a smartphone that actually turns your car into an autonomous vehicle. So I know I'm gonna mess this name up, guys, but it looks like it's Huawei. I guess is what it is. It's HUAWEI. And it's the name of the company, and they actually have a app that goes on the phone, and the way the phone works and the way the app works together is they say it can take your car and turn your car into an autonomous vehicle. So, a cell phone that automatically makes your car autonomous, kind of an interesting idea.
Just had a caller who called to inform me that the truckster was a Ford.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Who knew?
I guess that explains that, doesn't it?
Look. It doesn't have to be a Ford. Like I said, it can be the Buick. You just paint it the right color green, put some wood paneling on it, give me some cool gadgets to play with. I'm game. I'm ready whenever you guys are. I'm telling you, I'm going to start a petition. Because I just think it'd be fun. Could you imagine me having to load all the kids up in that and take Dawn with me and go cross country in it?
I'd love to see it.
See, that's the thing.
I'd like to hear the stories when you come back and see the videos.
We'll film the stories. We'll make commercials out of them, I'm telling you. But so smartphone that turns your car into autonomous. This is going to be interesting. Apparently the phone has all the sensors and everything it needs, that if it's mounted to the dash and it can be paired with the vehicle, that it can make the car do all the stuff an autonomous vehicle would do.
I wouldn't trust that.
Go check it out. Like I said, I know I messed up with the name, but the one thing I can say is Hawaii. Like it's Huawei is the name of the company. Check it out. See what you guys think. That's going to bring us to the end of our show. We're right at it again. It is Saturday. It's beautiful where I'm actually at, and there's a lot of car shows going on out there. They're starting up, so take your kid to a car show. I'm telling you guys, Sunday's right around the corner. Enjoy the race. Turn the TV off after the race. Spend some time with your kids. They'll love you for it. And we are out of here. We'll talk to you soon.